Elon Musk stepped onto the brightly lit set of Jimmy Kimmel Live, greeted by a mix of cheers and skeptical murmurs. Dressed in his signature black jacket and dark jeans, he took his seat opposite Kimmel, who welcomed him with his usual charm and sarcasm. The opening moments were typical banter. Kimmel joked about Tesla's recent recall. Musk laughed stiffly and quipped about late-night ratings. But as the interview dug deeper, tension started to rise. Kimmel shifted gears, asking bluntly about Musk's recent social media tirades and his comments on journalists. Elon's expression hardened. "Freedom of speech isn't filtered by feelings," he replied, staring directly into the camera. Kimmel chuckled nervously. "Sure, but maybe it shouldn't be filtered through billionaires either." The crowd murmured. The mood had changed, and Musk wasn't playing along anymore. His jaw clenched as the audience picked up on the growing friction. Kimmel, sensing the unease, tried to steer the interview into lighter territory. "Let's talk Mars," he said. "You still trying to colonize the red planet, or did Twitter take priority?" Musk smirked, clearly unimpressed. "It's X now, and maybe if more people understood how close we are to extinction, they'd take Mars a bit more seriously." Kimmel nodded slowly. Right. So if the world burns, we just hop in." "Your rocket?" Elon leaned in, voice clipped. "It's not hopping, Jimmy, it's preparing. And you joking about it is part of the problem." The audience reacted with a mix of awkward laughter and silence. Kimmel responded, "I'm not against the idea. I'm just saying if we're building escape routes instead of fixing Earth, maybe it's a billionaire fantasy, not a solution." Elon's tone darkened. "You've never built anything. You wouldn't understand." The crowd let out a collective, "Whoa." "Okay, wow," Kimmel said, raising his eyebrows. "I thought you were here for a fun chat, not a TED Talk." Elon remained unfazed. "You thought wrong. Maybe you should research guests before they come on." The jab was subtle, but the sting was obvious. Kimmel leaned back, crossing his arms. "I know who you are. That's why I asked you about accountability." Elon's tone was razor sharp now. "You mean scripted hit jobs disguised as jokes?" The tension on stage had hit a fever pitch. Even the band, usually quick with a cue, went silent. "This is why people think you've gone off the rails, man," Kimmel said. Elon stood up. "This is why people don't trust late-night hosts anymore. You're entertainers pretending to be intellectuals." The audience gasped again. The line between satire and real confrontation had completely dissolved. Producers behind the scenes motioned nervously, trying to figure out if the cameras should keep rolling. Elon remained standing, arms crossed, clearly done with the show's usual playbook. Kimmel stood too, hands open. "We're just talking here, Elon. Nobody's attacking you." Elon replied coldly, "You call it talking. I call it performance. And I'm not your prop." Kimmel looked toward the camera, unsure whether to smile or intervene. "It's a talk show. That's what this is. You knew that walking in." Musk's expression didn't change. "I walked in thinking you had better questions." Kimmel frowned. "You walked in with a chip on your shoulder." At that point, Elon turned toward the wings and called out, "Is the car here?" One of his aides nodded. Kimmel gestured to the audience. "Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk, storming out like a Twitter thread." The crowd erupted in a mix of laughter and jeers. As Elon exited the stage, the audience split between applause, awkward claps, and whispers. Kimmel shook his head and sat back down. "That might have been the shortest interview in the show's history," he said. "I hope he didn't park a Tesla outside, or it might try to drive itself into Mars." The band finally struck a few notes, trying to ease the mood. Backstage, Elon was already posting on X. "Late-night shows are dying for a reason. No courage. No truth. Just smug monologues." Within minutes, the clip was posted online by audience members and rapidly went viral. Twitter, ironically the very platform Elon owned, exploded with hashtags, "Joe Musk walkout," "Our Kimmel clash," "Rocket Man meltdown." Some fans hailed Elon as a truth teller tired of being ridiculed by mainstream media. Others cheered Kimmel for not bowing, to a billionaire's ego. It was late-night drama with real-world firepower. The fallout hit quickly. News networks replayed the incident with bold graphics and breaking news banners. Analysts debated who looked worse, the tech mogul or the comedian. Tech blogs rushed to defend Musk, saying he was ambushed by snark masquerading as journalism. Hollywood insiders defended Kimmel, arguing late night has always poked fun at power. Memes flooded social media, some showing Musk launching out of the studio like a SpaceX rocket, others replacing Kimmel with a robot asking sarcastic questions. Elon doubled down on his criticisms in follow-up posts, accusing Kimmel of being just another NPC with a microphone. Kimmel responded later that night in his monologue, "I thought Elon came to launch ideas. Turns out he just wanted to launch himself out the door." Laughter returned to the studio, but the underlying fire still burned across public platforms. Over the next few days, think pieces flooded the internet. Some praised the confrontation as a necessary moment where power was questioned. Others saw it as a failure of public discourse. A few journalists pointed out that Musk's reactions mirrored his online persona, combative, defensive, and uninterested in dissent. Meanwhile, a growing number of Elon's supporters saw the walkout as heroic, arguing that billionaires shouldn't have to tolerate scripted disrespect. Polls surfaced. Who won the clash, Musk or Kimmel? Results were nearly even. Late night. Historians compared the moment to past dramatic interviews, calling it one of the most intense unscripted breakdowns in recent memory. Musk fans began organizing media blackout campaigns against late-night shows, while comedians rallied around Kimmel. The confrontation was no longer a TV moment, it had become a cultural flashpoint. Eventually, both camps tried to regain control of the narrative. Kimmel addressed the incident again, more reflective this time. "Look, I respect what Elon has built," he said. "But coming on a comedy show expecting a press release was never going to happen." Musk, in a live stream weeks later, commented vaguely about shows pretending to be critical while begging for ads from car companies. It was clear neither had any intention of apologizing. Yet, both gained something from the ordeal. Musk reaffirmed his image as a truth-speaking outsider, while Kimmel solidified his role as a comedian, unafraid to go head-to-head with the powerful. The internet moved on to new controversies, but clips of the walkout still surfaced in debates about media integrity, celebrity ego, and the limits of public accountability. Months later, the incident was used in college media classes and YouTube reaction videos. Some analyzed Musk's body language, arguing he had no intention of staying calm. Others dissected Kimmel's tone, wondering if the jokes were too personal. The confrontation had become bigger than either of them, a symbol of modern tension between entertainment, information, and influence. Kimmel was asked in a podcast whether he'd have Elon back. He laughed, "Only if he promises not to bring a flamethrower this time." Meanwhile, Musk subtly mocked late-night TV in a new product demo, joking, "Our robots are now smarter than talk show hosts." The crowd laughed, but everyone remembered the night he left Kimmel's stage, and how much of a firestorm it lit. In the end, the Musk-Kimmel moment lived on as part of pop culture's endless churn. It appeared on best-of lists, memes, parody skits, and even inspired a satirical musical number on SNL. The tension, the clash, the abrupt exit, all of it encapsulated a modern media paradox: transparency versus ego, performance versus authenticity. Elon Musk didn't need a late-night show to maintain relevance, but his fiery exit ensured he'd be part of one of its most memorable episodes. Kimmel moved on, continuing his blend of comedy and critique, while Elon poured himself into AI, rockets, and Mars, as if Earth had already disappointed him. But for those who watched it live, the moment was unforgettable. A billionaire and a comic colliding not just in words, but in worlds.